Let's get to it.
Mike Wood, the legend himself. Welcome.
Welcome. Good morning. I have to add to the last conversation, though, with social
Please
media.
do.
So I moved to my current town probably about 3 years ago, and there's a town Facebook group. So I'm sure everybody knows that, in suburban America, you have like these town Facebook groups. And I started to see that everybody on the feed was posting about their dog getting out. Like every day, it was somebody's dog that was wandering
Yes.
around town or whatever. So I decided to make a laugh about it and say, "Hey, the one thing I learned about this town when I moved here is that everybody's dog is out on the street." And of course, then the posts start coming. Well, not my dog. And I'm like, okay, so you can't make a
Of
joke on social
course.
media now. So it's just it's polarizing. So I spend most of my day on social media unfollowing people,
Yeah.
and keeping my my tunnel vision content the way I like it. So anyway, quick
Well, I think that's
social
good
media story.
advice. I think that's good advice. Actually, I was listening to the news yesterday and they had a report on for if you listen or if you are on social media a lot, your happiness level goes down dramatically. And I agree with that. I think the less you can be on, the more positive you'll be. But, anyways, let's think about there was no social media when you had your first job and you just launched a podcast called My First Job. It's amazing. It's available on the Purple Acorn network. Definitely check it out because you've had some great guests initially. Like, kudos to you. I'm a big supporter of it, but I'm curious, what was your first job?
So I'm actually working on an episode where I'm gonna call my old boss, because
Okay.
I still know where he is and still kind of in touch. I worked at a golf course when I was a kid. I was 15 and I picked up golf balls at a driving range, and that was my first job. And I ended up
That would be
working there.
amazing.
You
Unless you
you
get
would
hit,
think it
right?
would be well. You get used to you get a little shell shocked. So I would go into this thing called the picker and it would pick up golf balls and whatever, and I would go in there with my CD player and like this is my time. I can listen to a whole CD while I'm in here, and then you just hear like bang, 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 people hitting you, whatever. First day, you're like, I can't believe this. This is my nerves are shot. You get used to it though after
Yeah.
a while, but yeah, the podcast is great. I was talking to Evan about like I wanted to start a podcast. I had done a podcast a couple of years ago, and I want to start a new one in HR. And I was trying to think of what's a unifying thing that everybody has,
Yeah.
that everybody can think of. And so everybody remembers that first job. They all laugh about the stories about their first job. We've done about 8 episodes or so, and I've really enjoyed it. Like as was mentioned earlier, John Baldino was a dancer at one point. We've had people that have worked in kitchens. With John also worked at a Friendlies when he was a kid, just washing dishes. We've had Richard Rose now was working at a Amish smorgasbord place.
Ooh.
So we have some really interesting ones. Elena Valentine was like a T Rex mascot at the Chicago Museum. It's great. It's a lot of great conversations, and it's
Yeah.
what's really neat is that you see these little seeds of who people become that get planted back when they first start. So, John
Yeah.
Baldino, as we always go back to him, he learned when he was first starting out in HR, he really liked it and he really liked dealing
Yeah.
with the people. And so now that's kind of what he does. And Elena was very much about fighting for workers' rights. And that's something
Yeah.
that she's very passionate about. I just play golf, but that was, so it's very interesting. I think it's a place that everybody can talk about together.